What's up? I say, what's up? I say, what's up again? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? I'm John Brown. It's the John Brown Podcast. On today's podcast, we have got this one's on you, bro. This one is on you, bro. I'll explain. And it's someone making an announcement. Somebody, anybody, eventually, at some point. Jesus. But before we get to any of that, I want to talk to y'all about the John Brown Podcast at gmail.com. If you want to be a part of the show, if there's anything you want to say, long form, communicate with me, chat with me about something that can fit longer than in the chat pack, do it there, baby. Do it there. I look at it. You can put your complaints in there too. There ain't no HR. It's just me, the homeboy reference. That's HR around here, homeboy reference. That's me. As well, shout out to all my people at the Sporting Tribune. The Sporting Tribune is one of the places where this show is reposted on. It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on Twitch, it's on Kick, and it's on X. But on X, it's also under the Sporting Tribune. So give them a shout out, give them a like. But most importantly, y'all, as we continue on this road to 500, exit 162 on the JBP, subscribe to the show. If you're new to the program, we do this show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And we would like for you to come over and subscribe to the podcast. That's how we build it. That's how we get it in a better light. That's how we shape this thing up for advertising. I got a lot of stuff in the background today. I apologize. I'm still trying to kill that fly from yesterday. I'm on his ass. He in here somewhere. Listen, he brought his friend in here. I killed his friend. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. His buddy didn't know what was up. Zapped his little ass. Yank. Actually, I'm gonna keep some left. Yank. Zapped his little ass. He was good as cooked. As soon as he flew his little ass in here, he was good as cooked. Yank. Shout out to the chat pack. As well, on today's show, as always, I encourage you guys to head over to the John Brown Podcast Shop. The John Brown Podcast Shop has sweaters, it has shirts, it has shorts. By the way, the thing I like in there most are the shorts. They are hella bomb. I would show them. They're in the house. Obviously, you guys know I'm in the shed now, but they're in the house. Lots of cool stuff over there. I'm gonna put some more stuff over there too as I continue to build. But shout out to everybody who's purchased something. I really appreciate it. You guys help to keep the show going. By purchasing something, all that money literally goes back into the show. So this stream costs money. Cable I pay for because that's my house. But when it comes to the show being broadcasted on StreamYard or the account on Twitter, or I think there's another account I pay for, to continue to have the podcast posted where the podcast is posted, purchasing things from the podcast shop absolutely helps finance this bad boy. And the more we buy stuff, the more we buy shirts. Shout out to Tito. Shout out to David P. Shout out to Raiders versus everyone. Shout out to Az Technology. But most importantly, shout out to what's this? You. I'm struggling pronouncing this. Bam, you was number one today. Shout out for being first. If you ain't first, you last, as the great Ricky Bobby said. So, like I said, purchasing things on the podcast shop store helps the podcast continue to grow and get better. Voila, the shed. Voila, this lovely wallpaper behind me. You know, the podcast is in more places because you guys have been very generous with purchasing things, and I absolutely love and appreciate that. So, yeah, let's keep that going. Second of all, I got a question, and let's get down to business today. I try to spend 5 minutes doing that kind of stuff. Now let's get down to business. Is somebody going to make an announcement today? I'll get to the Padres game. I look at it this way. I'm going to start doing other stuff before I get to the Padres because there are oftentimes people on the back end come in and go, did you talk about the Padres yet? So I'm gonna start saving the Padres for the end of the show, mostly because that's where they deserve to be. But so let me ask this question. Is somebody making an announcement today? Because my question about today's announcement or tomorrow's announcement or over the weekend, which announcement will have more impact on you as a fan? Aaron Donald going back to the Rams or LeBron James choosing a team? One we absolutely know is going to play. We don't know where. The other is if he's going to play, which I believe that he 100% is. And I believe that that announcement will probably come during this show. Now, I'm telling y'all this, I'm sharing this information with y'all, or I'm asking this, and I'm also asking this question to y'all because at this point in their careers, who's going to have more impact? And I know we're talking about LeBron, so that sounds crazy. And I know we're talking about Aaron Donald, a guy who's been retired for 2 years. But I think the answer is Aaron Donald. Because adding Aaron Donald to the Rams just pours a gallon of gasoline on an already blazing fire. Adding LeBron James to the Cleveland Cavaliers does what exactly? Are they a championship contender at this rate in LeBron's career? Somebody from the Sporting Tribune, because we have a text chain. One of the links that they sent in the text chain was a starting lineup of Russell Westbrook, Davion Mitchell, LeBron James, Giannis, and Bam, which I laughed out loud when I saw it. It was sent as a joke. But I laughed out loud when I saw it because I went, who the hell is taking the 3 out of that group? The answer is Russ. But who's making the 3 out of that group? None of those dudes. Not consistently. Like the teams that are left looking at LeBron, I've said this from the beginning. I think it's Golden State. I think it should be Golden State. I don't know where it's going to be. I think he knows, but for whatever reason, he's dragging the thing out. So to me, I am asking a question to everybody in the chat pack. I'm asking a question to anybody who sees this show and you see this clip, put this in a context of where you can comment. Who is more important making an announcement, Aaron Donald or LeBron James? That's the question we all have to be asking at this point. Who is going to be the one to make the announcement first, and then who's going to have the greater impact? I honestly believe greater impact is going to be Aaron Donald. And I can break this down in a bunch of ways, but I'll do it in the simplest way and the easiest way for everybody to follow and stay with me. I think LeBron James, whoever he chooses, the teams that are left for him to choose, it doesn't matter where he goes, they're not a championship contender. Whether it be Miami, whether it be Cleveland, whether it be Golden State, even if it's Philadelphia, I do not believe Philadelphia is a championship contender because the top teams in the West are extremely too good. And what you saw the Knicks do, the Knicks aren't going to repeat. I want to say that right now. I want to go on record. The Knicks aren't repeating. So whatever team you put LeBron James on, whether it be fantasy until he makes a decision, each one of those teams has holes. And every one of those teams that has holes, they're glaring. Like we don't know what Boston is. We don't know if Boston can get along. We don't know, again, at every point in time, we don't know about Joel Embiid's health. There are a million questions about the roster in Philadelphia. What's going to happen with James Harden in Cleveland? Markieff Morris put on the internet, Bron back to Cleveland, Jalen Green for James Harden. So James Harden would go to the Suns, Jalen Green would go to Cleveland. That doesn't make sense either, by the way. LeBron doesn't want to play with Jalen Green or James Harden. There was a report that LeBron James was irritated because he felt rushed by Adam Silver. Because now we're just reporting stuff. Now it's like, oh, I heard. This is a game of high school, I heard. This has turned into Gossip Girl. Well, I heard. You sound like old ladies on the porch. I heard. You sound like the grannies with the big hats in the church. I heard. Well, you know they say. They talking about so-and-so. Ooh, you know they this. Ooh, you know they that. So anywhere LeBron goes, literally now, the story has lost its wind. Because you know what happened today? NFL teams started reporting to camp. And if you know anything about how sports is covered in this country, every major broadcast network feeds off of football. It doesn't care what the NBA story is or what the Major League Baseball story is. You got a day. On some networks, you got a segment. LeBron choosing where to play gets a segment. On Get Up, he gets a segment. On First Take, he gets a longer segment because they talk more basketball on that show. But primarily on Get Up, that's a long segment. And then they're gonna roll on to the next thing. Football, 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 football. You don't even see them talk about baseball. They don't talk about baseball on any of these shows unless something crazy happens the night before. They lead with that, and that's the only time you see anything baseball related talked about on any of these shows. These are football driven shows. The data shows it, the numbers show it. So therefore, LeBron taking forever to suck the oxygen out of the room for attention, he's now also he's lost the wind. He's lost the wind underneath his sails because the second he makes that announcement, it'll get talked about and then it'll get moved on. They'll move on to Bengals camp, or they'll move on to Raider camp, or they'll move on to Rams camp. So I asked the question, who will have more of an impact with their announcement coming first, LeBron James or Aaron Donald? And I got to tell you, the answer is Aaron Donald for this reason and this reason simply. They're a championship contender. With him on the team, they're a championship favorite. And I know everybody talks about, oh, he's been off for 2 years. Have you seen him? By the way, last time you saw him, he was sacking Joe Burrow to win the Super Bowl. Looked pretty good then. So now you give him 2 years off. You put that body, who, by the way, never got fat, probably gained a little weight because he was retired, but he stayed sharp. Because I think always in the back of his mind, he knew I had a little more in me, but I got out good. I got out healthy. Knees intact, ankles intact, elbows intact, mind intact. Went out like a champion. And then the Rams got Myles Garrett. So now with Myles Garrett, with Aaron Donald, that's an NBA champion. That's a Super Bowl champion. And with the Super Bowl being in Los Angeles, I talked about this before, it is enticing to a player of that caliber to add himself to the greatest pass rusher in the history of the game, because that's what I believe. Me personally, that's what I believe Myles Garrett is. He's the greatest pass rusher ever. You add Myles Garrett to that line, it's a race to the quarterback. It's a race to Sam Darnold. It's a race to Brock Purdy. It's a race to whoever the hell is playing quarterback of the Cardinals. That division is going to be torn to shreds by the Rams defense. If the Rams win the division, if the Rams win the NFC, they won't have to leave Los Angeles for a single solitary game, including the Super Bowl. You don't think that's got these guys fired up? You don't think dudes are reporting to camp today? You don't think these dudes are reporting to camp today with a little something extra in their step? You don't think these dudes are reporting to camp, looking around going, is he here? Have y'all seen him? Is he here? Y'all seen him yet? Is he here? Is he around? Did he come through a secret door? I think Aaron Donald's impact on the roster, I think Aaron Donald's impact today, if announced today, tomorrow, Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Aaron Donald's announcement in the near future will have more impact on the actual play on the field than LeBron James will. And I see that happening. We got two announcements we're waiting for. We got two announcements we're waiting for. Who's going to be first? And when we figure out who's first, who's going to have the largest impact? Like y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Because I gave my piece. I 100% gave my piece. I'm telling you right now. I think LeBron James's impact on this season, I think this will, what we're watching happen over in the offseason, I think this will be his greatest impact. I think because we've seen him be great. We've seen him average 20 points and 8 rebounds, 8 assists. We've seen that before. So we've now taken that for granted. So when he does play, unless he announces that this is my last season, this season will be a wash. Unless he chooses the Golden State Warriors, this season will be a wash. Because what they're doing in Miami, that's 3 years away from being competitive. What they have in Cleveland, they're missing too many pieces to win a championship immediately. What they have in Philadelphia, they got way too many question marks with Joel Embiid to win a championship right away. The only thing that, to me, that will give you box office television is Golden State. That's the only thing that will give you A1 ratings across the market in the NBA is if he goes to Golden State. And if he's talking about it with his people, because, by the way, I've heard so many things that he made a decision and then he woke up the next day and he changed his mind. Oh, he talked to his daughter and he wants his daughter to play a large part in the decision. Oh, he's irritated because Adam Silver is pressuring him because of the schedule release. Oh, well, he's going to Cleveland because they're making a trade, James Harden to Phoenix. Oh, Patrick Beverly. Oh, he's making an announcement today. Oh, Kendrick Perkins. Oh, it's Miami. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. And it's actually exhausting. It's gotten to the point that now it's exhausting. And people just want to hear where the team is. And by the way, unless it's Golden State, I'm telling you, this story will wash out in a day. Because people care more about what their football team is doing than where LeBron James is going to play. And that's across all fan bases, even the team he chooses. If he chooses Cleveland, this time of the year, the Browns are more important. The Browns are 0-0, baby. If he chooses Cleveland, the Browns are still a much bigger story come Monday. Let's say if LeBron chose the Cavs today, on Monday morning, every Cleveland Cavalier radio show, every Cleveland podcast will lead with the Browns because camp will be opening. Is it Shedeur? Is it Deshaun Watson? How does the team look without Myles Garrett? New coach, new energy, new atmosphere. That's the story in Cleveland if he chooses Cleveland. The story by the Bay is going to be the 49ers. Again, it'll have more legs in Golden State, but the story will then transform in the Bay Area to what's going on with the 49ers, health-wise. LeBron will get a segment next week. I think the story of LeBron and Golden State will make it into next week, Wednesday, Thursday, in the Bay Area, if he chooses Golden State today or tomorrow. Anything anywhere else, shelf life of a day. 2 max. If he did it today and tomorrow, max shelf life of that story until the actual season starts, until guys start reporting to training camp. Because right now, guys are reporting to training camp in the NFL. And what the 49ers are doing is bigger than what Golden State's doing this time of the year. What the Browns are doing is much bigger than what the Cavaliers are doing this time of the year. I wish I could say the same about the Dolphins, but I can't. I can't say the same thing about the Dolphins. But again, the Eagles are a much, much bigger story. Much bigger story than what the 76ers are doing. The Padres are playing right now. We'll get to it, man. We'll get to it. Like I said, I'm going to start saving the Padres for last on this show simply because too many people check in and go, oh, man, did you talk about the Padres already? So that's a little programming update. The trade 3 was first. He already know that. They already know that. Crystal Davis, now you know that. We're going to be saving the Padres for the end of the show to make sure everybody can get a piece of that. What happened? Let me see. What? Okay. But yeah, man, the LeBron announcements got to come. The Aaron Donald's announcements got to come. One of the two. One of the two. One of the two. As always, man, head over to the Sporting Tribune, like the page, share the page. As always, by the way, as we continue our road to 500, subscribe to the show if you're new. Shout out to everybody who's here enjoying the show. By the way, I want to show y'all something. So I get a lot of comments about Ass Island. Okay? I get a lot of comments about Ass Island. I'm working on video and graphics for Ass Island. I'm working on those graphics. But until I get them, I can show you where I'm at so far. This, my friends, is the new development known as Ass Island. Yes. We got some restaurants going on here down here now. We got some boats being docked. That's all our new residents coming in. In the back, you see Ass Mountain. Nice large ass mountain in the background. But this is officially the new and what they call it? Their new renovated Ass Island. So shout out to the new Ass Island. Oh, y'all think it's too luxurious? Y'all think new Ass Island is too luxurious? Okay, so Ass Island should be terrible. It should look bad. Okay. All right. Okay. Until then, see, but this is why I'm getting feedback. This is how I'm getting feedback, man. I'm doing this us. I'm doing this for y'all. Y'all doing it for me. So let me continue to hear from the okay. Ass Island needs to be more the slums. Got it. Done. By tomorrow. Slummy Ass Island. Slummy Ass Island will be up tomorrow. I answered these flies over. Okay. Here's the passport, though. Shaboosh. That's how you get your passport stamped to Ass Island. What y'all think about the passport? A helipad, okay. I mean, listen, we have to have a place for them to safely deplane. Maybe it'll be like a Cessna. We'll drop them off one at a time, like a little crop duster. Bzzz, just drop them from the plane. All right, I get it though. Y'all say Ass Island, a little too luxurious. Okay. I get with that. I can fix that. But that passport stamp, what y'all think about this? What y'all think about that passport stamp? I think I'm gonna put that on a shirt, by the way. I think I'm gonna put this on a shirt. Shout out. Poosport. All right. We got okay. It will be gross. So, when Ass Island makes its next appearance on the show tomorrow, it will be a much grosser place to be. Thank y'all for the comments. Thank y'all for the feedback. See, I need some feedback sometimes. I need some feedback on things. I throw it out there. Y'all tell me what y'all like, y'all don't like. I fix. I like it. It's not a passport, it's a poop sport. Oh, listen, David P. comment of the day. You are 100% right, sir. The stamp, the stamp should be a sticker. Oh, David P. David P. You will be issued the first Ass Island sticker because this was your idea. This was your idea. The Ass Island sticker. David P. will receive the first Ass Island sticker. I'm going to write this down because that's tremendous. Listen, that's why I write stuff down. That's why I write my jokes. That's why I write ideas from the show. So yeah, Ass Island. Listen, I'm gonna get the development department on that ASAP. Ass Island sticker. Give me a second, right? Ass Island sticker. Done, bro. That's genius. Yes, Crystal Davis. It'll be a stamp and it will be a sticker more than it'll be a stamp. But yes, stickers, Ass Island stickers for your mugs, your cups, coming soon. It can't be okay. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked this. Crystal Davis, it's hard to make an illustration of something in the shape of an ass because all the programs I use, AI, won't allow me to make an ass, like an actual ass, unless I pay like $50 a month for that level of software to create something. So let that be what it is. I'm not paying $50 for no ass. I don't pay for ass, period. I damn sure ain't finna pay the internet no $50 for no ass. So until I can get the graphic design situation straightened out, we using AI, baby. All right, I'm glad we cleared that up. So, Ass Island sticker, bang, coming soon. Shout out, man. You get a round of applause for that. That was the best idea we had on this show. Shout out. All right, next on the show. Where am I? No. Okay, let's talk about this because I'm gonna say the Padres for last. At the rate they're going, might not even bring it up, but I'm sure I will. So, Fernando Mendoza. Oh, let me edit. This seems hella tiny. Can y'all even see that? Let's make that bigger. Let's try to make that bigger. Hold on. I'm working on it. There we go. Okay, so this Fernando Mendoza situation for the Raiders. Because I told y'all we're going to do a lot of Raiders talk. We're going to do a lot of Raiders talk. We're going to do a lot of Rams talk. We're going to do a lot of Chargers talk. Maybe a little bit of 49ers. We might even dig into some Cardinals. We're going to be heavy AFC West, NFC West. Heavy. I believe that this version of the show needs to be centered around, the West Coast sports, because obviously here in San Diego, we don't have a football team. We don't have a basketball team. So that's going to then allow me to turn my attention to a wider range of sports, a wider range of teams. And that way we can have more conversations and more content about things as they go around the NFL. And so the Raiders will get a lot of attention on this show, to the chagrin of some, to the joy of some as well. You have to start Fernando Mendoza. This isn't a very hard conversation. Quite frankly, I don't think this is a long conversation. I don't know who in the Raider organization don't think this is a good idea, but starting Kirk Cousins is not the answer. Starting Kirk Cousins is not the answer. Unless, and even then, I would give Kirk Cousins a shit ton of run in the preseason. In case somebody else's quarterback goes down, we have a number one guy who we can trade that we just so happen to have on a reasonable contract that you could absolutely have if, let's say, Dak Prescott gets injured. Let's say if I'm a Super Bowl caliber team, let's say Jalen Hurts tears his ACL, I'd call the Raiders and say, yo, I get a fifth round pick for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is insurance to garner more draft picks. Kirk Cousins should be used as insurance to gain something else. The fact that he knows the system is a plus, but Fernando Mendoza is your future. Every day he doesn't play is a day delayed that he isn't moving you forward. I think Fernando Mendoza is Kirk Cousins 2.0. I think he's bigger. I think he's stronger. I think he's a better version of Kirk Cousins. Therefore, having Kirk Cousins on the team makes sense. I believe they can see things the same way. I watch Kirk Cousins on quarterback, so I know he carries himself as a professional 100%. So I'm on board with that. But when we're talking about what happens with Fernando Mendoza should play. Fernando Mendoza should be playing football. Not watching, not holding the clipboard. He needs real experience with the offense day one, off and running. Playing Kirk Cousins for any reason other than trade bait in the preseason makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. If Clint Kubiak's offense is that complex and that difficult for Fernando Mendoza to learn, dumb it down. This isn't complicated. Every snap that Kirk Cousins takes is a lesson not learned for Fernando Mendoza. Isn't this why you hired Tom Brady? Isn't this why you gave Tom Brady part of your ownership so he can come in and say, "Hey, yo, no, play this guy. You can't learn anything from the sideline." He was sitting behind Drew Bledsoe. People always bring up Patrick Mahomes. He was sitting behind Alex Smith. There's nothing special about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins ain't taking you nowhere. There was a chance Drew Bledsoe was going to take the Patriots to the championship. There was a chance Alex Smith could have led the Chiefs to the championship. Those are actual possible scenarios. There's no way in any scenario Kirk Cousins leads the Raiders to the championship, to a division title, to a playoff run. No fucking way. The idea of not starting him, it smells like dysfunction still exists in that organization. I think Fernando Mendoza was the reason why Indiana was successful. I'm interested to see what happens with Indiana now that he's gone, because a lot of people gave that coach all the credit, gave this cat all the flowers. He's on cover of video games now. The coach is. So to me, my question becomes, what is something like once a great player leaves it? What is Indiana going to be like now that Fernando Mendoza is gone? What are the Raiders going to be now that Fernando Mendoza is there? You won't know if he's holding a clipboard. You won't know if he's coming off looking at the tablet trying to figure out why Kirk Cousins threw another interception. That is legit my question. Graham, I completely disagree with this. Graham says, shout out to Graham checking in today, the Raiders are ready to win now. I do not agree with that. That's got to be troll. You have got to be trolling. Are you trolling already, Graham? I guess we're 34 minutes in. That's not already. You got to be trolling with that, dog. There's no way you actually think. There's no way, Graham, you actually believe that the Raiders are ready to win now over the Chiefs, over the Chargers, over the Broncos. And that's just a division. That's before you get to Buffalo. That's before you get to Baltimore. That's before you get to Cincinnati. That's before you get to Houston. That's before you get to Jacksonville. I put the Raiders in the same bucket as the Titans and the Panthers, who did make the playoffs last year. That's where they're at for me. They're above the Arizonas. I think the Raiders are above New Orleans. Everybody likes New Orleans this year for somehow. They love Tyler Shuck. I think the Raiders are above a couple of teams in the league. Obviously, I think they're above the Jets. I think they're above the Dolphins. I think they're above the Saints. I think they're above the Cardinals. There are teams that are below the Raiders, but I don't think they're ready to win. I don't think the Raiders are 9-7. So what's winning? I think for the Raiders to get the most out of this season, similar to what happened with the Chicago Bears. When they first got Caleb Williams, The idea for Caleb Williams to come in and to just play the position. Come in, just play the position. Play the position at the highest level, at the fastest speed, and we'll see what we got. And we'll use this year to build up next year. When you have the number one pick, the year you get the number one pick is not to compete. It's to see what you got moving forward. The Bears saw what they had in Caleb Williams and blew everything up. Got a new coach, got new coordinators, got new players, moved guys in, moved guys out because they knew, okay, we got the guy. Now we need the guy calling plays for the guy. They went and got Ben Johnson. Voila, success. The Raiders can do the exact same thing. You bring in Fernando Mendoza, you let him play from day one, and you just let it roll out and see what happens. Know what you need the next year. Know what you need following this year. Every game you waste with Kirk Cousins is less you know about next year. Because next year, when everybody needs a quarterback and you don't need a quarterback, you can do what the Chicago Bears did. You could trade that. Let's say the Raiders get the number one pick. You can then trade that pick for 3 number ones the consecutive years. And now you build a championship contender. But you can't do that if you out there trying to win games with Kirk Cousins so that Fernando Mendoza can watch the offense. That makes no sense to me. I've seen the one plan, the one time I've seen the Bears succeed at something. That was this. Ryan Poles trading the number one pick to Carolina for Bryce Young, ending up with Caleb Williams out of that trade, ending up with Roma Dunze out of that trade, and I think they got Colston Loveland as well out of that deal. So what the Bears were able to recoup out of that deal allowed them to be what they are literally today. They hired the right coach, they built the offense around him, and a high-speed internet. If you're the Raiders, you don't want to be stuck on dial-up because you out here playing Kirk Cousins. That's all. David P. asks, are the Raiders going to own the Chargers this season? No, bruh. No. The Chargers are a playoff contender. The Raiders are not. We need to see if Fernando Mendoza can play professional football. And if he can, we can build that. If you build it, they will come. That's my analogy for the Raiders. If you build it, they will come. If you build this team properly, you will be able to build around Fernando Mendoza and get this thing in the right direction. Because if Fernando Mendoza shows well, now you have 4 quarterbacks in that division. 4 quarterbacks in that division. You have Fernando Mendoza. You have Bo Nix. You have Patrick Mahomes. You have Justin Herbert. If Fernando Mendoza is worthy of number one pick status, you're looking at 4 solid franchise quarterbacks in one division. I don't know if you can say that anywhere else. You can say that in the NFC North because it's the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, and the Bears, Lions, Packers. Vikings don't have one. We don't know about Kyler Murray. We don't know about J.J. McCarthy. In the AFC North, you got Joe Burrow, but we don't know about Cleveland. You got Lamar Jackson. That division is Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Who's the 4th person in that? I don't know the 4th person in that division. But again, they already out because we don't know what Cleveland's quarterback situation is. Listen. Hey, this is a different kind of podcast, man. We swing in a different direction. We're not finna around here Charger bashing, dog. That day is over. You can come in here, you can shit on the Chargers all you want, but we're not finna just objectively just blast them. If you think the Raiders are gonna be better, David P., I don't know, buddy. We're on to Cincinnati. Watching it, watching it, Crystal Davis is giving me advice on what to do about the sticker. I'm gonna star this. I'm gonna star this and see where it goes. Man, I'm trying to star your comment, girl, so I can read it at the end. Graham says, put David on Ass Island. No, man, I can't do that. Listen, the whole point in drafting Fernando Mendoza because he was ready. He wasn't a project. I think Fernando Mendoza's like 23, 24 years old, bruh. You got to see what's cooking with that now. Right now. So yeah, you got to start Fernando Mendoza, man. You 100% got to start Fernando Mendoza. As always, I'm telling y'all, we're on the road to 500, the John Brown Podcast at JBP. Appreciate everybody who subscribes to the show. Appreciate everybody who likes, shares, and comments. As y'all can tell on this show, I am a man of the people. We let the comments dip in the show at all times. You guys are the co-hosts of this show. A lot of y'all ask why we don't have more people on. What's the situation with that? I have people on every day. Okay? I have people on this show every day. David P. is a guest on this show every day. Ask Technology is a guest on this show every day. Graham is a guest on this show every day. Aunt Esther is a guest on this show every day. You see what I'm saying? Steve Coast is a guest on this show every day. I think, obviously, the Wrigley family, guest on this show every day. Raiders versus everyone, guest on this show every day. Latrey 3, guest on this show every day. This show's got a guest every single day, man. We have people on from time to time. Yeah, we get John Gennaro on. We get Alex Padilla on. We get Coach Kicking It with Coach on. We get people on. And as football season starts, we'll start getting people from the Sporting Tribune on. I'm on in Las Vegas now every Tuesday. I'll get Cofield on. We'll get people on. But there's a co-host on this show every day. It's y'all. It's the people in the comment section. That's how this show is going to grow. You guys are going to co-host this show to the top. You're going to co-host this show to 500 subscribers. The John Browner Podcast is y'all, and I am you, and that's why this show, if I ever lose control of it, you will know because there will be a co-host on it. My intent for this show has always been to have the guest of this show be the people in the comment section of this show. Because sometimes y'all are on point, and then sometimes y'all are like, what the hell y'all over there talking about? Sometimes y'all fight, and I talk about y'all fighting on the show. Shout out to the Chat Pack co-hosting, man. Ask Technology, what is this about fantasy football? You want to do fantasy football, dog? You want to do fantasy football too? All right, fuck it. Y'all want to? Okay, y'all want to do fantasy football? Let me write this down. Ass Island sticker. Fantasy football. Fantasy football. Y'all want to do a meetup? Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm going to set all this shit up. And if y'all don't participate, that's on y'all. I'll be in it. Well, we can play. So fantasy football, y'all want to do a meetup and draft, or y'all just want to draft on the internet? I'm writing it down right now, so let me know. Brown facts. Ask Technology, you will not be in charge, I promise you. But your ass gonna have to participate because this was your idea. This is an idea show today. Everybody's got ideas. Everybody's got ideas. All right, so now that's on the list, man. That's on the list of shit to do for the show. David P says, got to be a meetup. Okay. Fantasy football draft meetup. Meetup. Okay. So I'm going to talk to Rick Borba, Gaslamp Tavern. I'm going to talk to Rick Borba. In addition to talking to Rick Borba, I'm going to make sure it's on a day downtown where there's no Padre game. Let me write that down. No Padre game because of traffic. May try to do it on a Saturday too. I'm writing all this down. Saturday. All right. So meet up it is. Meet up we shall. Fantasy football. The John Brunner Podcast Fantasy Football Meetup. All right, what else? Let me talk about this Padre thing. Let me get this out of the way. Let me get the Padre thing out of the way. No, that's not it. Here we go. That's on you, bro. So, as I've said before, I don't put a lot of stress on the manager. He's learning on the job. What happened yesterday at the Padres game? That's on him. That's on him. Similar to what happened today. You do a bullpen day, Cannon gives up 4 runs. I don't really know why he's still on the team. David P., you got to find JD. I don't know where JD is. I'm sure JD listens from time to time. JD, if you listen to the pod, man, fantasy football meetup, text me. Look, man, I told y'all this would happen. Last night, my prediction almost came true. If they don't score 6 runs in the 9th inning yesterday, my prediction does come true. Yesterday, the Padres scored a run through 7 innings. It was happening. The 7-0, 7-1, 8-1 game was happening, as I always prescribe through the formula of how the season goes. If you don't know the formula, Padres lose a close, high-scoring game. Padres lose a 1-0, 3-0, 4-1 game. Then they come out and have some offensive explosion, or they get blowed out again. That's literally the formula. And it was on track yesterday. And then they had this crazy top of the 9th inning, which you like to see. You like to see the fight. You really do. But come on, man. Come on, man. You give up 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th after tying that game up. Wandy Peralta and Randy Vasquez blow yesterday's game. And before you can even get off the ground today, and I truly mean before you can get off the ground today, Cannon comes out. When you're up 3-0, you give up a run, and Cannon comes in and gives up 5 runs. 5. Again, 5. 1 in the second, and 4 in the fourth. At what point do you allow him to give up 4 runs? You had Cowhart throw 8 pitches in the first inning, and you had Cannon in 2 in the third throw 59 of them and give up 4 runs. Give up 5 runs. 4 of them earned. 3 home runs. So I tell y'all, man. I tell y'all, every time we think it's hope, every time there's a glimmer of something, and even this time, our favorite team to play came rolling right around the calendar. Braves, Padres come rolling around the calendar, and now we can't even build up nothing off their back. It's just a tough business. We're in a tough spot, man. We're in a tough spot. They come out of the All-Star break. They drop 2 out of 3 to the Royals, and it looks like today they might drop 3 out of 4 to the Braves. Hey, man. I don't know, man. To be 2-5 right out the gate is not a good look. It was not a good look, man. And because the game is happening now, there's not much to really say about the game because it's still developing. But again, you get a lead, Cannon smokes it. You're looking at Major League Baseball standings, and as much as we keep, you know, putting our bifocals on, now you're 3 games out of the wild card and you're behind 4 teams. None of these teams are in your division, so you don't have a lot of games coming up against them. I mean, the Diamondbacks are the third. The Diamondbacks are the third wild card team, but you're 3 games. You're 3 games behind them, and you haven't shown capacity to win games like that this year. So why would I think that you're now going to jump 4 teams? You're going to jump 4 teams. What the Boston Red Sox were able to do this year, I think they went on a double-digit game winning streak when they had people hurt. So in the span of 3 to 4 weeks, the Boston Red Sox literally turned their year around completely. The Boston Red Sox have won 9 of their last 10. And I think the Boston Red Sox, I think they won like 15 or 16. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. What's that? 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. The Red Sox won 15 games in a row. 15 in a row. You think the Padres can do that? Because I don't. The Padres are going to lose. The Padres have 15 games. I'm sorry, the Red Sox won 15 games in a row. I don't think the Padres got that in them, man. I really don't. There's not a lot to say about it. It's just like he's learning on the job, man. He's learning on the job. People learning on the job, bro. You just gotta take the mistakes, bro. You gotta take the mistakes, bro. They're happening on your watch. So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Do better, y'all. Shout out. Listen, Ass Island sticker coming. Shittier version of Ass Island will be on the works. Hopefully ready by tomorrow. Ready by approval tomorrow. Tito, that music means it's time to go. Whenever y'all hear this music in the background, that means the show's about to end. So I figured I'd give y'all some type of warm-up to let y'all know the end is coming. So the show just doesn't abruptly end like, all right, I'm out. That ain't the fan music. They play this music? I don't listen to it. I don't know. Shout out to all those dudes over there, though. Shout out to the morning show. Shout out to Ben Higgins, who I see from time to time, randomly. Paul Reindl. Ben Woods. I knew it was going to come to me. Ben and Woods. No, it's not. It's Ben Higgins. I always call him Woods. So I don't really, I forget what his first name is, but Paul Reindl's my guy. Yo, they use the same music. All right, let me see. All right, they use the same music. I got to change. I don't want nobody to remember her stealing. How about that? How about that? This is worse though. This is terrible, actually. Yeah, no, I'm not playing this. I'm not playing this. Let me see. What about this? No. This is bad too. How about, let me see. How about this? I don't like this either. Maybe this will do. Okay. This will do. We're going to play this music from now on. When the show's ending, you will hear this. Because I don't want to be accused of stealing. Because y'all know I don't even get down like that. It's got a little more bounce to it anyway. John Brown the Podcast. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. See y'all tomorrow, co-host. New ass island. Shitty ass island coming tomorrow. Peace.